It's been said that better questions lead us naturally to better answers, and that it's in not knowing that we open the doorway to knowing. I'm Scott Lennox, and you're listening to The Beautiful Question, a consideration of things that truly matter in a complex world. Few things matter more than being present. It has the power to transform us and to help others. Join me this week as we consider what happens when we are fully present with ourselves and with the people around us. When you're struggling, perhaps going through things that are intractable and seem so much bigger than you are, which do you want more? Words of comfort or advice or instruction, or for someone to be with you, offering you their uninterrupted presence, the gift of their humanity, fully recognizing and engaged with your own. Even if not a word is spoken and there's no physical contact between you. In most cases, I feel confident predicting your answer. A number of years ago, I received an unexpected expression of gratitude about exactly that. At the end of the graveside service of a friend, his widow excused herself and stepped away from the people she'd been speaking with. She called out to me as I was leaving. She's a gifted physician, and Michael's dying had been a long and painful process that all but drained her. What she quietly said as we stepped away from the others surprised me. "I want to thank you for something," she said. "During this whole experience, you're the only person who hasn't told me what to think or how to feel. I'm grateful to you for that." I later spent time pondering what she told me, making a mental note of it and reminding myself to keep it in the foreground of my thinking, not in the background. As has shown itself to be true, I knew that a similar situation would eventually present itself. It wasn't that I planned how to interact with her. That part came naturally. What I had failed to recognize was the healing power of being consciously and intentionally present. Human being to human being. I'm also reminded of something that happened years ago on an airline flight that became extremely turbulent as we climbed through the cloud deck and up to our cruise altitude. Sitting by the window, I was musing at the density of the clouds when, without looking at me or saying a word, the woman in the middle seat quietly took my right hand from the armrest, placed it tightly between her own, and rested our sandwiched hands on the top of her knees. Each time the plane shuddered again, she gasped and pressed a little harder. Several minutes passed before the turbulence settled and the flight became smooth again. Still not speaking or looking at me, the woman put my hand back on the armrest and folded her own hands in her lap. Her silence and her avoidance of eye contact were fascinating. I couldn't read her thoughts, of course, but it seemed that if it was important to her, that if she was going to endure that level of turbulence, she was going to do so while in direct contact with another human being, even though that person was a total stranger. You know, when I think about being anonymously useful to her in that way, I always smile. From Sanskrit, the ancient language of India, the word namaste conveys a powerful person-to-person meaning, generally spoken with a gesture of placing the palms of the hands together and bowing one's head. It says, essentially, the divine in me recognizes and bows to the divine in you, symbolizing not only the recognition of the other, but the offering of grace and peace. I don't think I've ever offered that greeting to someone from India who didn't immediately return the gesture. It's a greeting of the deepest respect and of conscious regard for the sacredness of the other. In the James Cameron film Avatar, the greeting, "I see you," conveys a similar meaning, as if to say, I see who and what you are, and I am right here with you. What an immeasurable gift. As you can easily imagine, the only way we can possibly recognize both the divinity and the humanity in another person is to see it within ourselves, and then to suspend everything else we're doing and become fully present with that person, at least during that moment. In our hyper-connected, hyper-processed, hyper-busy world, That seems a tall order, but is it really? Are we so necessarily driven by our schedules and calendars and devices and personal goals and the demands of everyone around us that we can't stop and bring ourselves back into the present for the few precious seconds it would take to truly connect with someone else? If we can't, we have a significant personal and cultural problem on our hands. The challenge, at the very least, is about priorities and focus, one in which we ask ourselves what really matters right this moment. As you hear this, I wonder what it is that truly matters to you right now. In fact, if you were to list your personal top 3, what would they be? I'm willing to bet that for most people, relationships with others is high on the list. So that being said, here are this week's 4 beautiful questions. 1. What happens within me when I am recognized by someone who gives me their full and uninterrupted presence? 2. How can I give that gift to at least one other person today? 3. In what ways can I be fully present with myself? And 4. What must I do to make being present a regular practice? You innately know that these are not lightweight questions. These are considerations that have the potential to change lives, including our own. As you ponder them and put your answers into practice, I would love to know what happens and what changes in your life or the lives of those around you. As I say each week, my light with your light. Thank you once again for listening. I'm always inspired by our collaboration as we work and play together, building better lives and better possibilities for ourselves, for one another, for the world, and for our beautiful planet home. I look forward to your comments and to your feedback. You can also be inspired by visiting my good friends at Cosmos Journal. That's KOSMOS Journal. Their mission is to inform, inspire, and engage global transformation in harmony with all life. You can easily find them online at cosmosjournal.org. And as always, you can find my free podcasts and guided relaxation audios by searching for The Beautiful Question in Apple Podcasts or SoundCloud or CastBox, or by visiting the podcast page of my website at scottlennox.com. If you find them encouraging or useful, don't hesitate to share them. I'm Scott Lennox, and this has been The Beautiful Question. The Beautiful Question is a One Light production, written, recorded, produced, and funded by Scott Lennox at Heart Rock Studios in Fort Worth, Texas, as a way of paying forward to life, being fully present, becoming better engaged with things that truly matter in a complex world, and committing to a healthier future for all of us.